There are two characters in the DC universe who use the name Batwing. The first one is David Zavimbe and the second one is Luke Fox. We will be discussing them both today. David was a young boy in the city of Tinashe, which is in the Democratic Republic of Congo in Africa. Both of his parents passed away due to HIV. He and his brother Isaac were taken from the orphanage and were drafted as soldier prodigies in the Army of the Dawn. Both of them shined above the rest with their special skill set. They were fast, were more than able to take orders and take out enemies. They were nicknamed the Dragonflies. The general, Kita, promoted the boys into the ranks of his elite men. Kita ordered the brothers to take out one of his major enemies, Okuro. But he wanted them to torch an entire village to ensure Okuro wouldn't escape. Isaac refused to harm innocent women and children, so he alerted Okuro. The general got pissed off, so he started arguing with David. Isaac then hit him over the head with a rock. Kita slashed him with a machete and seemed to stab him. David ran away, only to return at night in order to drug Kita and surrender him to the enemy Okuro, all because David was done fighting and harming others. David was able to escape the life of being a child soldier and eventually became a police officer in Tinashe. Meanwhile in the US, Bruce Wayne announced Batman Incorporated. This was an initiative to put Batman-like figures all over the world. When he visited Tinashe, he recruited David as the newest member of his team. This also led David to become part of the Justice League International team. While training to be a Bat figure, David faces off against a villain named Massacre. During his investigation, he finds a crime scene filled with dead police officers. Massacre stabs him in the back and attempts to finish him. The fight is interrupted by Kia Okuro, who is a young police officer. David was unconscious for a while, but when he woke, he learned that Massacre had harmed many police officers during the fight. So, David sets off to find Massacre again. Thunderfall, a hero of the group The Kingdom who fought in Africa, was fighting Massacre already, so Batwing joined in. Thunderfall was gravely injured, so Batwing took him to the hospital where Thunderfall explained why the Massacre was going after members of the Kingdom. Apparently, the Kingdom was responsible for the death of 50,000 Africans. President Masika Okura was a dictator who ruled over the land. There were also warlords who used children to fight in their armies. And then there was the People's Republic who fought back against the government and the warlords. The Kingdom wanted to free the people and let them have the victory. However, President Okura decided to team up with the warlords unless the Kingdom would help him to safety, which is what the Kingdom did. They helped President Okura escape Congo. This meant that the warlords fought the People's Army and the People's Army lost. This is when the Kingdom decided to break up. Massacre was now going after old members of the Kingdom. During a battle in Gotham, David unmasked Massacre and found out it was his brother Isaac. He was sent to kill the members by Josiah Cohn, who was a scientist for the Kingdom. He wanted revenge for the choice the Kingdom made all those years ago. He found Isaac in the jungle and gave him purpose. David had several more adventures as Batwing, but after losing his best friend in an explosion and quitting his job because of the corruption, he decided to give up the mantle of Batwing. The name was then taken on by Luke Fox, who is the son of Lucius Fox, who is the CEO of Wayne Enterprises and the guy who makes all the gadgets for Batman. Luke has been an MMA fighter since he was 16. He was Batman's first choice for the Batwing costume, and although Luke was Batwing now, Batman still had his reservations. He sent Luke to Africa to train until he was ready. After his mission there, Luke was able to operate in the rest of the world. In order to keep his secret, he had to lie to his family. He He told them he was traveling the world before getting a job, which his father didn't approve of. Luke Fox's high school friend turned into a villain who wanted revenge on Luke for harming him. In order to do so, he kidnapped both of Luke's sisters. Tamara got drugged to the point of needing lifelong care. Tiffany was able to escape and was rescued by Luke, who revealed his secret identity to her. One element that's part of every superhero's life, including both Batwings, is keeping secrets, especially from loved ones. Both David and Luke had to keep their identity hidden from both their romantic partners and families. But what does that do to a person? Everyone has secrets. It's part of being human. We communicate with others on a daily basis, yet we still decide that there are things best left unsaid. A secret, however, is not necessarily the act of not disclosing certain information, it's the intention. For example, I may not discuss my work life simply because of reasons such as privacy. However, it's not a secret that I work as a psychologist. When we have a secret, we can be reminded of it at random times. This mind wandering can lead to psychological harm such as feelings of shame, uncertainty, isolation, and inauthenticity. This guilt and shame we feel can lead to fear of what others would think if the secret was to be revealed. Ruminating and being preoccupied with this burden can result in lower life satisfaction, anxiety, and loneliness. Fear plays a big role in this. We often play out the worst-case scenarios of what would happen once someone finds out. These results seem to be culturally universal. Regarding Batwing or any other Bat family member, those feelings of inauthenticity seem to overshadow. They can't fully be themselves or be truthful about who they are, especially Luke. He had to lie to his parents about basically his entire life, all to keep his secret. I can also imagine both David and Luke feeling isolated. Sure, they are part of Batman Incorporated, but for a whole while they were in Africa by themselves. No one knew about Luke, and the only person in David's life who knew was his best friend Matu, who was also his partner in crime fighting. They both wanted to come forward with their secret, but didn't. They both experienced this mind wandering to the secret, and this mind wandering can get caught in unhelpful loops of thinking about the secret and the negative emotions associated with it. Not only that, but experiencing those negative emotions like shame and isolation also predict thinking about the secret. This leads to a negative vicious cycle. This was found in a 2024 study by Bianchi, Greenway, Mook, Slepian, and Kalokerinos. So it's not necessarily the act of keeping a secret that's so straining, but repeatedly thinking about the things we're trying to conceal. Having a secret comes with a burden, and this burden comes with negative effects as well, such as lower well-being, decreased relationship satisfaction, fatigue, isolation, and negative emotions such as anxiety, stress, and depression. People who are already more anxious and who tend to overthink or ruminate more experience more of these negative effects or experience them more intensely. We already established that keeping secrets can lead to feelings of isolation. Part of that comes from the fact that you can't receive social support while keeping a secret. You can sense some sort of conflict. On the one hand, you want to keep the secret, but on the other hand, you want to connect with others. In the case of Batwing, they would love a social life or a love life, but their secret identity deprives them of doing so. This can increase feelings of social distance. Of course, they can look for support in the other Bat family members, but they don't. In all the 34 issues of Batwing I read, neither of them approach Batman, Nightwing, or Batgirl about the secret and the strain it has on their life. This can actually be a sign of poor emotion regulation. People who struggle to deal with their secrets often also have poor emotion regulation skills. However, Opening up about a secret is not always a good idea, especially such a big secret as the identity of a superhero. A 2018 study by Slapin and Greenway found that keeping another person's secret is more burdensome when there is an overlap between social networks. In the case of David Zavimbe, if he would tell Kia his secret, she must then conceal this information from their mutual colleagues at the police station. Luke Fox decided to tell his 6-year-old sister, who now also has to lie to her parents. Now, of course, in context, this was to motivate her to come with him, and it did work out in the end, but I wonder what the burden was or is for her. Keeping secrets seems like a terrible idea when it's summed up like this, but it could also be beneficial. Sometimes, people keep secrets to avoid negative outcomes that would happen when or if the secret were to be revealed. I think this is important to add because I think it's definitely the case for superheroes like David and Luke. If their secret comes out, it could endanger the loved ones they were trying to protect in the first place. As I mentioned earlier, revealing a secret also places a burden on the people who know. For example, if Luke were to tell his father that he's Batwing, not only would Lucius get incredibly mad, he'd also have to live the next couple of months to probably years worrying about his son every single night. The question is, what hurts the relationship more? Lying to keep a secret or the burden of knowing? This was more of a general video. I could have gone a bit deeper into other psychological elements such as David Zavimbe's PTSD, but I already made a PTSD video regarding Barbara Gordon, which you can watch right here. Thank you for watching. If I sound a bit weird, it's because I've been sick for the last 2 weeks, but I had to make this video. So thank you for watching and being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!